Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507. Bob is threatening chainsaw, happening insanely. Now, managers allow this to happen. Another man. Slap you, Kathy. That was a heroin addict whore that lived next to me at Brooke Gilman Apartments. They've their bloods, and they threatened me with the names Kathy and William. That was Kathy's ugly, indigent boyfriend at Brooke Gilman Place Apartments at 5100 East 90. I can't remember that zip code area. I resisted them for 13 years. I probably was raped in my apartments, 2 of them at least, and they tried to prostitute me. I'm no longer pretty because they've mutilated me with glass, and also I was burned with some chemical they put in the water here. One of the prostitutes in a storage room, her name is Stephanie. She goes to Elizabeth Gregory home. I think her name, Stephanie, I can't think of her name. It ends with an A-N or O-N. Something. Anyway, she's about 20s. She looks 40. She's getting fatter. She doesn't have much bosom. She's about 5, 6, 7. She likes to hang out in the U district with heroin addicts. She's in on robbery, rape, slavery, you name it. Stephanie's in on it, including animal cruelty. And guess what about these bloods? A lot of them have had their own animals and their own children, and they're devil worshippers, and they're usually in on child molestation and animal cruelty if their bloods are Zeta. You know, it's mostly bloods and Zeta that I've come in contact with. And these are the filthiest crap or excrement people in the world you could ever come in contact with. And for 13 years they've been ranting and raving about how defiled I am because they raped me. They played consecration, and they are the filthiest, most stinky, smelly, most retarded bums you could ever find any place, any time period. They're into devil worship and consecration of victims. They have a retarded black guy in there with them. Stephanie's white, she's retarded. He's a retarded black guy, he's 6'1" or so. medium, and they're all pretending people owe them money, including for existing. There's no relationship. By the way, the water smells toxic, so I'm going to have to get a jar ready to take a sample if I don't feel good or if I'm burned. She just put in some poison. It smells like radiator fluid. I can also smell, even though it's through the wall, I can smell some of these dirty, filthy people through the wall. They smell like rotted garbage. Stephanie has her own smell. She has a personal problem, probably an infection. She's not homeless, but you would think she is. She's gross. Very gross. She's a heroin addict that has injected her arm to the point where it's useless. And she's in on backpacks and purses at the very least. I hear another bum. You can actually hear him. He is located possibly where the microphone is. He's not located, but he's talking through the microphone is what I hope. Now, they threatened to break in this apartment. So I think it's a good idea to broadcast it, and then I can identify who comes through the door or the wall or the floor as they threatened. And you might say, that's crazy. Well, you're talking about the same kind of morons that will assemble checks from 3 bags of garbage. You're talking about the same kind of people who do food tampering with needles, or leaving out your food, or touching it with their reeking, stinking bodily fluids. Or spreading around a sample from a lab, according to what they threatened. So yes, they have professional and semi-professional connections, including the managers of this building. This is 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. And these are bums. They're retarded junkies, whores, but they're not only retarded, they are psychotic. And they are threatening me because they wanted me to starve in this apartment. And they wanted me to die of the foul water, and then they could pretend it was somewhere in Russia. Or just show it to their friends like a snuff movie, where they're pretending it's a political prisoner. And charge money and present it to retards. It would be buried probably in deep web. These bloods are involved in deep web and snuff movies. They're involved also in like illegal kidney trade. I just heard a noise. They have it broken in. He might be trying. There's going to be some trouble. And I'm going to ask you, you are an ugly bitch. Some of these people are also black Nazis, but always behind a black Nazi or even other kind of Nazi, you get a lot of others that are Nazis, by the way. You always have others who just don't care. They just want the money, the goods, the perks, the treasures. They don't care. There are no whites left in the U.S. They're all gone. There was a poll with Satan 13 years ago, and they were all reprogrammed with others that I liked, with the bums, by the bums, rather, such as the bums you hear in my wall. If not they, others. I happen to know one of the bums. He wasn't very smart. He never could pass any school past 14. He said everything was not smart enough for him. He always had a different story. Got an emotional IQ that seems about 13 and to 15. And Satanist, I believe. And he absolutely helped to reprogram the U.S. people. There was a fall of Satan. Everybody was dead 13 minutes and assembled also grossly from parts of dead people and animals. The DNA was already screwed up. Even if I've cursed the DNA since then, they screwed up. Now I'm going to stay calm and centered in case anyone breaks in, and I have to fight. Calm and centered. I will have my AAFFE or E. He is a psychiatrist. He is involved with those. He will cover up rape and murders. He is involved in human slavery. You can hear the bombs. You can hear some. I don't see feet under the door. Possibly a bomb microphone, but there was some sort of pounding. There is spirit activity after the fall of Satan. These bums took. They took over the world and ruined as many spirits. And well, now within the board, dangerous as any Nazi. There is danger in terrorists. They are terrorists. They are trying to pretend that they are government. That one minute. And they have. I tell you how many considered Nazis. There are also Hispanic Nazis I run into, and others, and a lot of Nazis. They're all morons. And what happens is there are people that without anybody, if they can get, let's say, 200 a month, 300 a month. If they get free housing, they're able to look at themselves in the mirrors. Plus, nobody's normal after 13 years ago anyway, because they all have Satan. Their head was rotting. It wasn't in good conditions, not like they were frozen nicely waiting people, which is, that's not perfected. We're talking damaged, rotted heads. And people who fought for Satan, the two, it can be so confusing and so contradictory. You know, these people who fought for Satan, they were inferior stock anyway. They were all morons. You'd have to consign people to Satan and sign away every culture, which is what they did, every civilization, and then the dirt and the filth tried to blame me. The dirty what he's doing? Well, they have a cannibal fetish, and he actually is, and you might say, it's been taught by Satan how to make things invisible that are visible. So you might actually feel a loss of blood, you feel the pain, but believe all their curses on me, guess what they've done? They've cursed every American and whoever they protected. Shouting things like, I'll tell you how retarded these people are. They're shouting, rape you, we've got a congressman. Sometimes it might be letters from the president. How stupid is that sounding? They're all retarded because they were reprogrammed. The boss is telling you he's taking over for so-and-so. And he stole an identity both in the spirit and also in the world. The black Nazi and other that they destroy everyone and live as they, and just sort of have, like, let's say, 1 person, 10 million people even. And those people aren't really alive, they're just controlled by a retarded bomb. If you can imagine a retarded bomb killing countries that way. They've done it already. They've also in spirit or retarded in history. Up to spirits, if you can believe it, and they were telling me how they like to eat people. Probably nice people. Probably there were people that they targeted me. He wanted to get power guard ball like, and it might be a gang member. They're not. They're garbage. They're absolute garbage. They're the earth. Like cops. There was Michael that was in on Satan. They played his name, they'll play other Michaels. And they move back and forth between getting people harmed. And then what they'll do is, after they... You'll recognize Stephanie by her stitch, by the way. And they constantly threaten me with people who connect. And you might say, oh, it's pain. Oh, well, how could that person, connect to their blood? And guess what else? How they're connected. Well, you've got these welfare networks of go here, homes that go there. Why wouldn't it? You think that a bone stick to one food bank? You're garbage. You're all done garbage. And I hope you don't exist anytime in the future ever. You're just garbage. All of you. Just garbage. Now, you might say you're harsh. Let me tell you what these people do. One of the bums is playing on your master. Your master of nothing. Want to rape. He's having them harmed. He tried to harm me. And this was into a car. She said, "You." So in this, a lot of women, if they try to complain about this, this has probably gone on for 30 years. There's no innocent person to be in the system. I believe that if somebody wanted to rape you for authority, they would absolutely look the other way. If not, just, crimes to cover up other crimes. I tell you how many times I could have been murdered. Prostitute me. Her name is Candy. Oh, and there's a... He's in the area and he's playing wheelchair. But it's not all black people. He's white. To make things a little more complex, I'm not all the way white. There's some ethnicity, and so done with that. That lie about it, putting people in the spirit world and the I feel retarded, and I was mugged in town, and I had been stuck with needles at shelters. How did I become homeless? Well, I complained about mold. I got asthma, allergies, chemical sensitivity. Bert Gilman Place apartment. Her dirty friends help drive out of the property, and then also she where they tend you pay rent too late, and if you don't have a photograph of that date, like on a phone or a newspaper showing that date, like yes, it was the 3rd, yes, it was the 4th, then those landlords can get you out. There's a bomb talking Irishman got Irishman, and I can't tell you how many days of the week, well, it's every day, that they threaten other countries. And they've threatened a country in Europe that, is the most popular destination. Turn around and they think they're going to travel to Greece or England, Scotland, Ireland. Have a nice time after threatening these people. Basically telling that bloods and hurt people in those countries. We have one woman who's in Bloods. She'll sprinkle gold, and she goes to head time. I'm picking on transgenders, but not suggest that they could act like others. Of a person as a person. You are not acknowledging that they might do the same things as other people. You're acting like they're abnormal. One of the bums is threatening about groceries. They've tried to have people pick me up so I couldn't shop and I'd be robbed. And even if I'm robbed in the unit, and if it smells like radiator fluid and meth labs, do you want to drink the water? And Dr. Jaffe is in on all of this, including the assault threats, the assault attempts away from the buildings. He is absolutely a blood. One of the bastards, you can hear him, he's yapping, he's going on and on and on, and he's so psychotic, he thinks he can play what they call copyright, where you're not supposed to tell, supposedly, and they think they can keep everything secret, and they're just dirty, retarded bums. And they're pretending they have a copyright on what they're doing. Do they? No. It's a retarded person who has nothing to do with copyrights. It's just a retarded person yapping, flapping their gums. Let me tell you also, a lot of these males, they're too afraid to leave the building. Why? Because they all have hits on them, or they think they do, because of their lifestyle. Some of them are probably known sex offenders to the population, or they've, assaulted someone, and they know they could get assaulted. They're all cowards. But if you get 3 of them together,